Force USA has thrown down the gauntlet. New racks, cable towers, and functional trainers, all dropping faster than your New Year's fitness goals. But here's the question. Can Force USA actually hang with the big boys? Is Force USA the Rogue and Rep Fitness killer that their price tags claim? Let's dive in and figure out which is going to be worth your hard-earned money. The No Fade channel, checking in. Jonathan here to compare Force USA to Rep Fitness and Rogue Fitness in the ultimate home gym showdown. I'm gonna break down the build quality, features, add-ons, and yes, the marketing shenanigans too.
Always be closing. Always be closing.
Force USA has made an absolute splash by getting a ton of fitness content creators to validate their products. Force USA flew out a number of these influencers in order to make content at their Utah headquarters. From the many, and I do mean many, Force USA videos that I have seen, the reviews were exceptionally positive. I have to imagine it's pretty hard to be brutally honest when your flight, hotel, and even your protein bars are covered by Force USA, and you've got one of their employees standing over you while you film. Whether you agree or disagree with this fit influencer endorsement, it seems to be working, as a number of new affiliates for Force USA have been creating tons of content and pushing those affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. One interesting thing that you might not know about a company that has USA in its name, and that is no. None of their products are actually made here in the great United States of America. They all come from the People's Republic of overseas. Now, this isn't a major issue because most home gym equipment companies do all their manufacturings out of China. But for a company with USA in the name, it is a little bit confusing. As a prime example, I've got these American sunglasses. I've got American shorts, and none of them were made here in America. But I don't believe the company's name has USA in the title.
I want the truth!
By the end of today's video, I need to know from you, is Force USA's brand new lineup worth the premium price? Or is it just all premium marketing? We are starting off with the self-proclaimed most overbuilt all-in-one trainer ever designed. We know that all-in-one trainers are all the rage this year. C20 is no exception. I checked this out at Home Gym Con, and I do have to admit, it was exceptionally smooth. It was very nice. It felt premium. It had everything you could want: Smith machine, lat pull down, low row. It had tornado arms. It also had, storage in the rear. It had almost everything thought of it. Weight storage, you name it. And it looked really, really good.
Forget about it.
So full disclosure, I loved these tornado arms. You can adjust them up and down, you can adjust them left and right, and they had an extra feature where you could actually make that bottom pop pin here so that it wouldn't pop in, allowing you to do a ton of different, like side to side jumping, crazy Spider-Man type of functional training exercises. Not something that I would typically do in my training, but I know there are people out there that are always looking to find new ways and new exercises with their functional trainers. Now, one thing that is a standout and is something that a lot of other companies don't have is this slide-in bench. We're gonna go down, and for $849, you can get a sliding bench. Now, this is patent pending, and this is actually going to allow you to be able to do like leg press, hack squats, leg extensions, and leg curls. And I got to check this out at Home Gym Con, and I'll tell you, the motion of the ocean when it came to this thing, it felt good. It absolutely worked how I had expected it to work as an add-on to this piece of equipment. The only caveat, the only problem that I don't think a lot of content creators thought to mention is the setup process. The nice guy from Force USA was going through all these steps that you needed to do in order to get this thing hooked in, all these different cables you had to attach, and they had different cables for different. It was like trying to assemble IKEA products in the dark. I was just one of those things that I knew if I used this on a consistent basis, I never would use it. I would never want to connect it because it would take too dang long to get it all put into place. This marketing shenanigan is ridiculous. Look at this, 2025 most wanted. This thing just got released. So how is this the most wanted? Who ranked it the most wanted besides the people at Force USA? Also, this Black Friday, current low inventory. This is just a way to get people to buy. And I know I'm knocking Force USA, but every company is using these type of tactics. Now, one of the things that so many of these content creators seem to just miss or glaze over it when they were actually at the Force USA headquarters in Utah is the price tag. This comes in at $6,500. I mean, you could build an entire gym for $6,500. That is a massively high price tag. Now, the good thing is you get free shipping, you get a lifetime warranty. I don't know what that includes. I could probably read it, but I'm not going to. And you get a money-back guarantee, which I always love. Now, if you actually want a heavy weight stack, and most the gym bros that I know that want to get the extra heavy weight stack, you've got to pony up $400. So that price tag just goes even higher. Also, they do offer professional assembly services. Now, I'm going to tell you this, I'm kind of split on this issue. Number one is, I know there's a lot of people out there that either physically can't assemble it themselves, which is understandable. And there's a lot of people out there that just are so busy and they make so much money per hour, it doesn't pay for them to assemble it themselves. So this is a nice service that they are offering for $700. Now, the problem with this service is that the people that come out to your home, they're not Force USA employees. They're not Force USA experts. They are third-party companies that are hired to assemble this, and it might be the first time that they're ever assembling a C20.
No.
Now, I have had a similar situation where I had a company come in to assemble their equipment. It was a third-party team. They had never seen the treadmill that they assembled before in their lives. They had to get open the instructions. They actually started assembling it wrong, leaving pieces out. The company had the audacity to tell me that they were spare parts. And ultimately, I kicked them out of my house and told them to hit the bricks, and I assembled the rest of it myself. So when you go with this professional assembly, my concern would be, are they going to do it right? Are they going to do it 100%, or are they going to be in a rush? And if they assemble this massively expensive rack and they scratch up one of your sides because they over-tightened a bolt or they clipped it with something, are they going to replace it, or are you just going to be left holding the bag? Another thing that Force USA offers that I think is kind of comical is a maintenance plan. You can get a 3-year maintenance plan for $520 or a 5-year maintenance plan for $720, and they'll come out once a year to, I don't know, tighten the bolts and to dust it off and maybe lube up whatever needs to be lubed up. I just don't know why you would pay for that, because I have to imagine if you're going to have any issues with this, it's actually going to be after that 5-year mark. I can't imagine you would have any issues from day one to the first 5 years on this thing in a home gym. And I think that's just something that they're looking to sell, and people who don't know any better think that it's a good idea. But if you're buying this, man, I can't imagine you're going to get any type of value that you couldn't do yourself with a can of like Super Lube. If you're interested in anything that you see on today's video, or you just want to pick up some toilet paper for the house, check out the links in the description. These videos do take longer to create than their mediocre quality would have you believe. So when it comes to home gym equipment, we know that it doesn't live in a vacuum. There's so much competition out there. Here we go, Rogue Fitness FM6 Twin Functional Trainer. Let's just see, where is this made? Now, Rogue Fitness is probably one of the best companies when it comes to transparency. Look at this, made in the United States with imported pulleys. Most companies wouldn't even bother putting that in. But yes, this is made in the great United States of America, and it does have a high price tag. They're one of the more expensive companies in the business. So let's just build this bad boy out.
Eventually.
So this price tag, of course, very high, $6,220, coming in less than the C20 at $6,500 without the upgraded weight stack. I will say this does not have a Smith machine, so that is not going to be 100% like for like. So comparing Force USA to Rogue Fitness, you're looking at more of a cost, but you also get a Smith machine. So if you absolutely wanted a Smith machine, the extra couple $100 to go with Force USA might put that over the top in your decision process. But let's look at a company that specifically makes their products overseas right along with Force USA. The Aries 2.0. This is something that is pretty close in terms of comparing like for like. You're not going to get the tornado pivot arms that a lot of people enjoy. My personal opinion on those is that they are like flying first class. Once you have tried them, you love them, and you really don't want to be without them, but by no means are they going to add any level of extra gains to your situation. And the nice thing about going with the Aries 2.0, if you're not a fan of Smith machines, if you don't actually use Smith machines in your programming, you could save an additional $1,000 on this price tag. So clearly there is a big price difference, especially if it's something you don't actually want. Now, one of the things I predict to be all the rage in 2026 is cable towers. I feel like people are moving away from functional trainers. They're enjoying the cable towers, especially ones that are overbuilt with 3x3 construction. And here we have the brand new Tandem Tower, twice as nice. Now this thing does look legit. You can get 1-to-1 ratio, you get 2-to-1 ratio. You're gonna get those tornado arms that you like. You could do lat pull downs, you could do low rows, you got the foot plate there. As usual with this, you can upgrade the weight stack for an additional $250, which I think most of us would do, just because it adds a lot more convenience, especially if you feel like eventually you're going to do some of those heavier pull down or low row exercises. You've got the ability to add banded resistance, which I am a big fan of, and overall you could connect 2 of these if you really wanted to and had the pockets to do it, but it looks to be like a really solid option. Here we go, $2,500. What about the competition? Bells of Steel, their version of the cable tower, brand new 3x3 Oblivion Tower. With the uprights, with the weight stack, we're looking at a $300 savings over Force USA. However, as we know, not everything is created equal. If I'm comparing the stability, I would probably give the nod to Force USA. It looks like it has a beefier base, and that does play a factor when you're really clanging and banging. You don't want the machine to be moving on its own, so it is nice to have a little bit wider of a base, a little bit more of a footprint. Now here we go, we've got the Rogue CT1 cable tower, and this price point is over that $2,500, and you would have to spend more money to get free shipping, so you would have to pay shipping on this thing. But again, you're looking at a $600 price gap between the Force USA Tandem Tower and this CT1. Now, if you really wanted to compare like for like, this is the CT1 Cross X. This is $3,500, so it's $1,000 more to get the dual handles. And so that does show that even though we're talking about Force USA's prices being pretty high, I have to be the first one to admit that compared to some of the competition, it's not overly high. Get RX new Phoenix cable tower. I currently have this in my garage. I really like it. I think it's really, really nice with the tornado arms. As I mentioned, it's like the first class seat of the home gym in terms of getting you to your destination. It's not gonna get you any more gains, but man, oh man, it's nice to fly in the friendly skies when you're going first class. So this is a savings of, $655.90. So a pretty big savings over the Force USA's Tandem Tower. I think this is why Force USA is going after higher end clientele, because when you do comparisons across their products, some of them, like this Tandem Tower, absolutely win the day. They are at the top of the top in terms of what they're delivering for the price point that they're delivering, and some of their products just come in overpriced, and some of the stuff that you're looking at is just like it's like nice touches. Like this, like honeycomb on the side looks nice, but it's not adding any functionality to your equipment. And of course, the tandem arms, I think a lot of people are gonna want, especially once you try them, but by no means is it gonna add any extra exercises. Now, this feature is, I think, one of their best ones, and that is when you have this engaged, you can swivel this thing left and right and all over the place, and that's what a lot of people want to do with some of the crazier functional training exercises that they dream up. It's a functional trainer. It's a half rack, all 3x3. This is their functional trainer rack for $3,339. That's a lot of money. I mean, you could buy a functional trainer and you could buy a power rack for less than that, I think. But this does have, again, a lot of the nice features that we're seeing across their lineup, in that you get the tornado swivel pulleys that people are gonna love, people do love, I love. I'm not gonna hate on them because they absolutely are fun to play around with. You also get the pegboard in the back, you get some storage in the back, you get the pull-up bar if you want, and you get the weight stack. Again, if you want to get the upgraded weight stack, you've got to tack on another $400. That's a really big pill to swallow. So this functional trainer rack is essentially a Rep Fitness Athena. And obviously you're missing the tornado arms here, but I put this rack together with the extra weight stack, and it came in over this one. It came in a couple hundred over with the extra weight stack. I think if I take that weight stack upgrade off, because I don't have it on the other one, we're looking at about the same price point. Let's see what it comes down to. Yeah, $3,500 versus $3,400. So with the price point of $100 difference, which one would I probably lean towards? And the reality is, if I wanted to have tons of customization options, I would go with Rep Fitness, because you can add a Smith machine into this thing. You can change the actual depth on the actual power rack, making it smaller or making it larger. You can do a lot of different stuff with like the pull-up bars and the safeties, as well as the J-cups. And you could add wings to this thing. There's a whole infrastructure that Rep Fitness has that aligns with this. And quite frankly, if you're like that Kazon DIY type of person and you want to get stuff from different companies, this is a very universal fit. Now, I think the home gym community should do more to be universal, where everything kind of is like Legos. It really all comes down to what your expectations are. Are you gonna be the type to put something in your home gym, leave it there, and not try to add anything on? Or do you want to have the ability, should you choose down the road, to tack on an extra wing section for weight storage or for attachments, or to add a Smith machine and the like? And do you want to be squatting in a half rack or a full rack? For me, there's not that much of a difference. I would choose the full rack over a half rack, but you're not really going to notice much of a difference in the two. And now it's time. It is time for my final thoughts, and I gotta give credit where it's due. Force USA has absolutely gotten the home gym community talking. Their clever USA branding and aggressive marketing has absolutely worked, because you can't scroll anywhere online with seeing so many of their affiliates. The design, finish, and engineering absolutely give off high-end vibes. But so do their price tags. And look, it's a tough sell when you are charging more than Rogue Fitness. Not only a company that makes most of their products here in the great United States of America, but one that is synonymous with literally bulletproof equipment. I haven't met too many people, if any, who regretted buying Rogue. Two other things that you won't regret watching these two videos. Obviously, give the video a like, comment below your thoughts on Force USA, and absolutely never save anything for the trip back.